I want to just ask Matt about a viral video he has going on. He said, hey, Colorado, what are we doing with Ice Cube at practice? I just want to be clear.
That's your guy, JB. You work. Ice Cube hired you, by the way.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, I love Ice Cube. He's the man. I'm just saying.
I saw your video. I was laughing.
You get your ass kicked. Maybe we shouldn't be like, hey, another celebrity.
I was watching your video, and first of all, I got to look at the little boys in the back. I want to be clear. I think this looks like a high school football team. Those guys right there. Now, I don't know if they play or not, Matt. I could be wrong. They could be walk-ons or practice squad guys. I don't know what they are. But they don't look like I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying a guy that judges talent and recruited him his whole life. I don't see no NFL guy standing right there. Maybe there is. You know better than me. I'm just saying. Body type wise, I'm like, shit. Are those the guys we're going on the field with? I don't know.
It doesn't look to me like we're riddled with NFL talent this year so far.
Yeah. So to your point,
look, bro. Look. I'm a huge Ice Cube fan. He's one of my favorites of all time. I know you are. Ice Cube, though. You're goddamn right I am, because I don't want people to think, or Cube to think, that I'm hating on him. I'm not. All right, I love NWA, like that. They're my shit. But
he was naming all the songs and straight out of concept. He keep going back to Ice Cube, though.
Lyrics here in the
Today was a good day.
Yeah, woo! You're fucked.
Friday. It is Friday. The song we're using.
So after saying that, Cube, no beef. Personally, after getting my ass whipped 36-20 on national TV by a team that finished dead last in the Big 12 last year, I feel as if this is just like after the Georgia Tech game when Coach Prime came out and said that Juju was going to get reps. And it distracted everybody off the fact that they just got 300 yards rushing put on them. That was a distraction that he used in the media. This is another distraction. It's, hey, forget about what happened on Friday night. Here's Ice Cube. And I don't think that I'm old school. I'm sorry for saying this, but I'm not in the business of celebrating and or giving like praise after we play terribly and don't win. And I think practice on Monday or Tuesday should have been hell on earth and closed practice and no filming. And we need to figure out who really wants to be on this football team and who really wants to play three technique and who really wants to run the football and what coaches really want to coach and game plan instead of the distraction of another celebrity at practice. And that's what it's become. Like, hey, I know we sucked on Friday night, but just forget about that. Ice Cube's here. And I'm sorry, but I think the coaches probably liked it more than the players. I don't know one kid in my gym. I was asking them yesterday, like, do you guys even listen to Ice Cube? And they're like, no, that's my dad's shit. And I'm like, okay. So
I heard, Bailey, is it true? Is it true that what is it? They Are Speed or whatever? Did he come?
No.
So he didn't come?
Who?
There was rumor that they are Speed or whatever his name is. He came too.
Is that?
Them Speed or I don't know.
I don't know who that is. See, I don't know who that is.
He wasn't there.
I don't care. I don't care. At the beginning of the whole Prime era, I thought it was pretty cool bringing people in. It was at the beginning of it. They weren't really doing it when they hit the skids of the first season. Last year, no one really noticed because they were winning. There were celebrities there, but they were also winning games. I just think it was bad timing, that's all. And look, non-football people are going to look at this like I'm hating, and people that actually play football are going to look at this and go, yeah, he's got a point. That's all I'm saying is maybe we should save the praise for when we play well.
Yeah, I don't remember Pete Carroll bringing Snoop or one of those guys after a loss. They usually did that in the spring. And it was it was mainly a recruiting ploy to bring out, Debo and Ice Cube and Snoop. They'd all come to SC practices all the time. You'd have all these celebrities at SC. I mean, we're in LA and Hollywood. I mean, the fucking sideline would be a fucking Hollywood, a Hall of Fame. So,
what did they lose? Like 2 games the entire fucking time Pete was there?
I know what I'm saying. It's hard. SC never lost. So it was like, all right.
Well, Saban, I don't know if Saban, we could ask AJ on Wednesday, but I'm sure there's people that's been there. I know Saban brought Stephen A one day in to speak to the team, but it was in the spring. Like it's when you're not distracted about worrying about game planning. To Matt's point, like I'm not game planning. I'm not game planning today with Ice Cube out here. I'm like that's in the spring.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying, bro. There's a time and place for
right
this, and it's the wrong place and time.
Yeah,
I think to Matt's point, optically it doesn't look right. Do I think it's a big do I think it's really affecting the team, positive or negative? No, but it doesn't look good when you just got your ass beat. So I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think that? All right, so let me ask this question. We just went out and got embarrassed. JB's our coach.
Yeah.
Okay, and we walk onto the field, and like as players, we're like, man, that sucked. We need to get better. Yada yada yada. It's the first day of practice back. Okay.
Yeah.
And we walk on, and there's no media out there. The gates are fucking locked. They're blacked out. And Coach JB just sitting there twirling his whistle. And when you walk by him and you're like, good morning, Coach, and he goes, how do you know what kind of goddamn day it is? Line the fuck up.
Ooh, I hate those days, man.
I'm expecting. We're going to fucking work today. I hope you brought your mouthpiece because I'm going to figure out which one of you can play fucking 3 technique, which one of you can play guard, which one of you wants to play fucking quarterback, which one of you want to win a game instead of just dress up like a Colorado football player and go out there and act like it. Or
man, those would be the hardest practice in the world. Hot outside.
And those always were the practices where we figure shit out and get better. Yeah. Instead of walk out there, media's there, everyone's filming, and fucking Ice Cube's in the corner, and it's just like, oh, well, I guess we're just fucking around today.
Hey, Matt, that was the days I took.
Bro.
Hey, you guys, those are the days I took to learn about my team and my staff and teach my team a lesson. If you came out there with no mouthpiece, I said real nicely, too, it wasn't even a bad thing. I'll see you tomorrow. And I just went down the line. If you're not strapped up, your chin strap not ready. And the lesson was, you motherfuckers ain't never ready to play. And you're not ever going to be ready to play. If you don't stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And that's the message. Like, at the end of the day, you all just came after an ass-whipping contest, and you went to another fight and weren't ready for that either. Like, that was the lesson I would have taught that day, not a reward. Like, I give you ice cream when you fucking do good. Not fucking, I got to teach you something to tell you.
You go win 36-20 and come back 2-1 with a chance to beat Wyoming's ass and go 3-1 and then bring in BYU and you're on a roll. Right. Fuck, bro, let's get Mac 10 together and fucking the gangster, the killer, and the dope dealer, and let's fucking have a concert. I'm winning.
Listen, I said it a couple years ago.
But when you're 1-2 and like people in Denver are talking about Wyoming fucking upsetting you and shit, like I'm sorry, but we gotta. This is year 3. Year 3 is supposed to be this. Year 3 ain't supposed to be flatline and decline. Like we're supposed to be getting better year 3, not having this conversation anymore.
That's why I said I was eager for this year, and that's why a couple years ago I said, "Listen, man, it's not easy for a celebrity type of guy, an all-time great player, to go in and rebuild a culture, especially when respectfully, he was at an HBCU. He wasn't at a big-time program where you have to understand that every single day somebody's trying to take your guys now in this landscape, and I got to go get guys, and I'm going to refuse to recruit high school." There's a lot of things that I said, you better hit, dog. Like, if
they won't recruit high school to save their lives, coach. It's bad.
I know.
They're going to have to now because they might have that new portal.
Okay, so here we go. Here's another question. Okay. Are you a parent yet, Smitty?
Not yet, but I want to be.
Not yet, but you guys are working on it. Okay, but I know JB is and I am, and you'll be one shortly. I'm saying this. This is what I'm saying. You're a father. And you're trying to give your kids some advice on where to go develop as a player to maybe go play in the NFL. Yeah. That's what's concerning me. It seems like at the beginning of the experiment with Coach Prime, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. He's bringing in all of his people. He's getting the fucking the program on the up. Everybody's got eyes on us. This is awesome. You know what? We need Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce here and fucking Cameron and fucking Wu-Tang out there, smoking a joint with Wu-Tang and shit. Like, it was awesome. But they needed that because the team was terrible. I was on there. It was awesome, bro. We were trying to figure out. We were standing in the complex. It was me, Cameron, and Wu-Tang. I know that doesn't happen often, and it never will again. And we were standing there looking at the urinals, and all the urinals have like these different key code or color codes on them to tell if you're hydrated or not. And Cameron's standing there, and he's like, what's with the color code? And I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. I have no clue. And Raekwon was like, it's to tell whether you're hydrated or not. And I was like, oh, fuck, look at that. So that was pretty entertaining. I'm just saying it was needed at that time. We were 4-8 and rebuilding. Last year, it wasn't really that prevalent. We didn't see a ton of guys there on the sideline as they were going 9-4. Or maybe they were there and it just didn't matter because we were winning and we didn't need the distraction. Well, now that we're on the rocks again and things aren't going very well, the distraction is back. I just want us to be able to look clearly in the face of the devil that we're trying to defeat. That's all. I want to make sure that we're not just saying, oh, we can't glance at losing because if we do, we're losers. No, man, we need to stare deep into this abyss and figure out why it keeps happening. Because if Wyoming is smart, they come in here and just run the ball vertically at us for 4 yards of carry until it pops and control the time of possession the whole game. Houston had the ball for 13 and a half minutes in the third quarter. Damn. There's only 15 minutes in the whole fucking quarter, man. 13 and a half minutes in one quarter?
That's insane.
That all I'm saying is, maybe after we whip someone's ass, we should bring in NWA and
Hey, let me ask you something real quick. Let me get back to this. The portal open. The portal's been decided. We're going to open it to one time. I hope that's true. I still haven't verified it.
I think it is.
If it happens, that's great. I think that's going to – I said yesterday I broke it down in totality, I think. I hope, Paris, we need to cut that clip. But we I think the dollars are getting short in the NCAA. I think every time the NCAA needs – I'm going to say us, players, coaches, et cetera, that's involved in this whole gamut we call football. They need us, they come back, and then they do things for us. When they don't need us, they make things impossible, and then they'll suspend you, and they'll fine you, and they'll take your bowl wins away, and they'll fucking suspend coaches for 3 games. But then on the other side, they'll allow a guy to have a $200,000 visit on campus, and then they'll suspend a guy for giving a guy a fucking 79-cent cheeseburger. So anyway, none of it makes sense, right? At the end of the day, though, now they're saying, okay, one portal. Which it used to be, let's just say it's the old rule, one transfer time, one transfer rule, one-time transfer. It has to bring the blood life back because the blood life's gone. Financial aid is dying, especially at places like UCLA, UC system schools. That's why they recruit out of state. Yeah, they're recruiting out of state. Bad. Oh, boy. They're recruiting out of state players more because they need the money, the higher enrollment fees. And then the California kids are missing out on that are leaving Cali, going to other places. It's a total oxymoron. But having said that, real quick, does this change the fact that high school football, the blood life of football, will now be back in the mix and in JUCO as well? Because right now the blood life's the portal, and the portal's killing football. And I've been saying it. It ain't.
God, I hope so, bro.
It's the portal.
God, I hope so. Because, look, even though the portal has been so prevalent over the last handful of years, the quality teams that I deal with, and not just we had a good year here, we had a good year there, and I include my Colorado Buffaloes in that. We haven't won a bowl game since 2004 when I was a senior.
I was in 4th grade.
Yeah. I'm just saying those programs still recruit high school guys. Georgia's still recruiting high school guys. Oklahoma's still recruiting high school guys. You know what I'm saying? LSU's still recruiting high school guys. Like Michigan's still recruiting high school guys. I've got a kid now, Jackson Roper, who plays at Cherry Creek. And about 9 months ago, he came in with no offers, and now he's a top 300 player and has 15. And CU's still not one of them. And we were talking about where you want to go this weekend. You want to go to Nebraska or Colorado? And he picked Nebraska because he wants to go out there and watch the Michigan game. He doesn't want to go watch them play Wyoming at 9 o'clock at night. So I just feel that if high school players are going to be at the forefront again, that's a good thing. But then it comes back to how you're developing your talent. And, are you bringing in recruiters, or are you bringing in guys that can do both and develop? Because there's a difference between being an ex-player and being a coach. Like, just because you're an ex-player does not mean you're a coach. That's a fact. So I've
been saying it.
I think that there's hopefully this gets a little bit more back to the grassroots of what high school football is and what it can mean for college football. I think it'd be smart for them to do this once a year transfer portal thing. And then I also think that guys going in the transfer portal, and I'm going to reiterate this, and some people will hear it and some people won't, but let me be blunt. If you do not have a plan going into the transfer portal, you should not go to the transfer portal. You should stay where you're at and develop into a better player and take the coaching and stop acting like you're special and someone's fucking you over. Okay? 99.9% of the time, you're not special. You're not getting fucked over. You're probably a dumbass kid that doesn't understand what it takes to be ultimately successful in this game of men. That, or if you're a grad transfer and you want to transfer, you've earned that right. You're probably going to get picked up pretty quick. But I'm telling you, the amount of kids that go in the transfer portal and literally just sit there or end up somewhere where they don't want to be and then they're in the transfer portal again is staggering. So hopefully this cuts down on that as well. You don't have 2 times a year where you're turning your roster over. I can only imagine that's pretty detrimental to the team building aspect of college football.
Let me ask you this, both of you guys. Like, I don't think people realize Deion ain't going nowhere unless he walks out because they paid.
No, he's not going anywhere.
They paid him. I just mean fired, right? They're not fired.
There's no way on God's green earth that Deion Sanders gets fired in Boulder. He could. I don't care if he has 3 losing seasons in a row. It won't happen. Yeah. The only way that Deion leaves. And the only way I could see him leaving is if he, and rightfully so, if he says, look, I've got all these health issues going on. I just beat cancer. I got 8 toes. And
then everybody will blame that as a cop-out, though. You know how media is. Everybody will say, that's just the way it
is a cop-out. So either way, he's going to be screwed when he leaves. Yeah. Somebody's going to point a finger at him. So that said, he might as well ride this motherfucker till the wheels fall off. I mean, goddamn.
That's my point. Here's the issue I see with him and the staff that I know some guys on that staff. They're mostly Southern-based guys, down south, Florida, Texas, East Coast guys. So here's the issue I have. When you come from heavy recruited areas and very heavy talented based recruiting hubs, we call them hubs, from Florida to Texas to California's a hub, Ohio's a hub, Pennsylvania's a hub. If you come from those type of places, you have a negative connotation when you go to a place like Colorado, no offense, but they came in with the mindset of, I got to go to Florida and get my dudes. Right. I got to go to Cali to get my dudes. It's negatively impacted the program as a whole, in my opinion, knowing I'm not going to recruit my backyard from jump. So now the players in the state know,
a little bit,
and the coaches know in that state, fuck Colorado. I'm sending my guys to Fort Collins. I'm sending my guys to fucking –
That's exactly how I feel. Why would I send Roper to Boulder when Nebraska's showing 10 times the interest?
That's my thing, man. I think if you have that negative connotation already, I don't know if you could fix that unless you go back and repair everything in the recruiting force.
Well, let me ask you this. I think that Coach Prime might be the only head coach in all of college football to not go on the road and recruit.
That's what I'm saying.
I brought it up yesterday too. So is he going to change that? He might have to change that.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do it. If you want to see him, you can come see him. He's not coming to see you.
But I'm saying, I think that worked with all the double portals open, and you're doing so much from the transfer portal. But now when they're going down to one portal, they have to recruit high school now. In my opinion. So if he's not going anywhere,
he's not doing it. He won't do it. He's not doing it, dog. He won't even do it for the 4 and 5-star offensive and defensive linemen that are 5 minutes down the road. I don't understand that, because in my way of thinking, if I'm Deion Sanders and I have all that clout, I'm that guy, okay, which 1 out of every 10 billion people is. I think it might mean so much more if I do go.
Well, that's the Saban effect. Saban dropping a helicopter out of high school in Boulder.
Yeah, man. If I show up to recruit this kid, what does that say to the kid? Because I don't go out to recruit anybody. So I think it should be something that they flip to use to their advantage. But again, this whole you need to come see me, people still see Colorado. They don't just see Coach Prime. That's just the Prime sexuals. Okay? So the program as a whole for a long time has been down, and people they can still use that against us and still do. I mean, look at the chat, for God's sake. So it's got to be both ways. There's going to be guys that just come see you in Boulder, Coach Prime. That's true. But the certain special one, it's like the Howard Schellenberger old school way of doing things. Like he would go see the really special kids, and he would leave his fucking pipe on their goddamn like their kitchen table or something and leave, so he'd have to come back to get it, and he'd have like 50 pipes in his car and shit. And he was saying in the 30 for 30, like, I used to leave the pipe at the special ones' houses all the time. And Michael Orban was like, I got 3 pipes. So like, there's certain guys that you have to chase, bro. It's
if he can't do it,
it's like it's a little naive to act like you don't need to go, attract.
Here's the problem. If he can't do it, Smitty, and health-wise is his rationale. If my rationale is health and I can't do it,
right,
then you can't coach. That's just, I'm sorry. I'm not, that is what it is. Like, if you can't go out and climb a tree like Harbaugh did with that one kid, remember? When that viral video or
jump in the pool like Lanning.
Or Pete Carroll. Like, the head coach is what they want to see. Yeah. They want to see that guy, though, right?
Yeah, I did for no reason.
Hey, they want to see that guy, though, be the guy, though, right? They want to see the guy show interest. Like, that's really what it is. It's at the end of the day, it's still a relationship-based business. Even though it's money, it's transactional now more than ever, but it's still at the end of the day.
Can I ask you two questions real quick?
Yeah.
So I understand that Colorado's transfer portal U, and there are a lot of other places that are like that. I'm not saying CU is just the only one. I'm not necessarily even mad at it. I don't really care. But he did go out and recruit Juju Lewis, who's the #1 high school quarterback, and Jordan Seaton, who's the #1 high school tackle.
Yep.
Why is it that we didn't parlay that into recruiting 10 more elite high school players because we got the best tackle, and 10 more elite quarterback skill guys because we got the best quarterback? Why is it that we can only get the best tackle and the best quarterback, but then after that we're like, fuck these high school kids? I don't get that. That to me is like maybe in the recruiting room we're just going after these 2 high school kids. If we get them, cool. If we don't, fuck them. And that doesn't make sense to me. If you can get those 2, you can go get a bevy of other really elite guys that fit your system. Does that make sense? Point. No, I don't understand why that's a thing.
My only, I guess, thought that comes to my mind is that we're such in a win now like mindset now with all these college teams to where they feel like they have no choice but to go get the junior that transferred from Alabama or the guy that came from Ohio State because they need to win now. The problem is they did that and they're still not winning. So now it's like, well, shit, I might as well develop and build a culture. So
these guys that they brought in, the 2 defensive tackles, the Branch kid, who I'm pretty sure is from Alabama, and then the Otis kid that they brought in from Alabama, they both are 6'6", 310, fucking like you see them at a club and you're like, God damn, you're one big doorman. But they can't play 3 technique and nose tackle to save their fucking life. They're getting ran through for 250 yards a game.
Crazy.
So, like, I'm sorry, but, JB said this a long time ago, and I kind of fought it on him a little bit. But now the more I hear it, the more I'm leaning this way. It's, maybe the transfer portal is full of just turds that can't fucking play. And it's a bunch of, like, coaches trying to fight over, players that were thrown away from the last staff. So instead of like going out and finding a high school kid that actually wants to be there and developing him, because if 3 years ago they do go out and recruit Gage Ginther at the clip that they're supposed to, maybe Gage is developing and ready to play for CU rather than developing and ready to play for Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all I'm saying is, this shit moves fast and development moves fast. And one day, you're early enrolling a freshman like Deacon and Breck are about to do. And then 18 months later, he's a starter for you for 3 years. That's the way that offensive and defensive linemen especially work when you develop them correctly.